Hey everyone, this is Group 9. We're going over our Campus Eat script in SQL for our Deliverable 4 final project. Um, our group members are Alon, Samuel, Madison, me, and Avery. So the next thing that we're going over is the actual purpose. And the purpose was to create a reliable online delivery service for anybody that's on the UNCC campus. And then the next thing would just be overall improving the current database that we have by implementing rating systems such as driver performance, how they did, students' food choices, or things such as like the quality of the food and how everything was going for the student or the person ordering the food. Now we're going to go over the processes used and the technologies that we implemented. So things such as the use case diagram, the EERD, stored procedures, and the data dictionary.
This is the use case diagram for the restaurant and driver rating system. There are three actors being the customer, the administrator, and the restaurant. The customer is able to access the user login, which allows for them to submit ratings. After this, they are able to review ratings and request refunds. Like the customer, the administrator is able to access the user login and reset the user passwords. They are also able to maintain ratings and view reports. This allows for the suspension of a driver and the issue of refunds. The restaurant is able to access a restaurant login that allows for ratings requests and the ability to reply to reviews.
Our EERD shows how all our different tables are interrelated to one another. For example, how ratings are broken down into delivery ratings and restaurant ratings, which are part of order, and so on, as well as their variables within each table, as well as their types.
Our project also used stored procedures to get the average rating of a selected restaurant. This stored procedure takes in one input, the restaurant ID, and returns one output, the rating of the restaurant with the ID passed in. We begin the stored procedure by declaring the average info as a decimal with size 2 and the number of digits after the decimal point is 1. We use inner join to select the average overall ratings from the ratings table linked with the corresponding order of the restaurant that have the restaurant ID from the orders table the same as the input. We then set the output equal to the average info field declared at the beginning. This is what a sample call of the store procedure's average rating looks like. We use it on the restaurant with ID 1, which have 20 ratings. The average return is 3.5.
Our data dictionary shows the relationships between data and how it relates to each other. We keep track of things such as the types of data, group relationships grouped by staff, person, faculty, location, order, driver, student, restaurant, delivery, and vehicle. This helps give a general overview of what the database is composed of.
So we created 3 new tables. The tables include rating, restaurant rating, and delivery rating. In rating, we have rating ID, overall rating, and order ID. In restaurant rating, we have rating ID, food rating, and price rating. And then delivery rating, we have rating ID, on time, and courteous. These 3 tables just house the ratings that customers give either the restaurant or the delivery driver. So this query is an inner join, and it joins the 2 tables person and staff whenever person ID is the same in both tables. And then it orders the results by person ID. So this query is another inner join. It joins person and staff tables whenever person ID is the same, but only whenever is admin is equal to Y. Then it groups the results by staff ID and orders them by person ID. Okay, so this query is also an inner join query, and it joins the table student and driver. This one just selects student ID, person ID, and rating, while the previous 2 queries have selected just everything, all of the columns. So this one joins where student ID and student ID are the same, and it groups it by the student ID.
And that summarizes our project. Thank you so much for your listening.